This song was inspired in part by events like that. Particularly, last year was Parkland, and we wrote the song really not too long after that, and you just see all these things happen, and it's like, it's sometimes you just don't want to watch the news because it's so frustrating, and then you hear a lot of politicians saying their thoughts and prayers or this and that, but they don't actually do anything to fix the problem. And so this song is just trying to like wake us up out of that and say, let's do something.
And I like in the video is very heavy and there's a lot to unpack there, but you start in bed and you end in bed, so it almost seems like these are the things that keep you up at night.
Yeah, these are like the nightmares, you know. Yeah, that's what the director Dominique De Leon, his whole idea around the video was that the news can be a nightmare sometimes for people, and we kind of highlighted some of those issues that concern me a lot, but there's other issues that concern other people, and you just want to get past, you know, the frustration and actually like say, well, what can I do to try to improve the situation?
You know, it's interesting, you having 2 kids, I have 1, Kevin has 2 kids. It's like, you know, people can look at you from the outside, see you on TV, you know, see all the awards, all the accolades. Your kids are just your kids. Yeah. You have the same feeling that I have for my kids.
Yeah, we are all worried about our kids. We care about their safety. And
we want to leave the world a better place for them than it was for us.
Absolutely. And so hopefully we can all go about trying to do that.
Amen. Yeah. Amen.
All I want to talk to you about every time you're here is just our kids, because my daughter Molly is like a month younger than Luna, and then my son is like a week younger than Miles.
So we're on the same schedule.
We are exactly in sync here. We're potty training right now. Our
Luna's already there. She's like,
she's already potty trained.
Oh, she's good. She's good. She took to it pretty quickly. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's good.
Was there any like tips or tricks you can share? Did you guys?
I don't know. I think certain kids just grab it quicker.
You know, the thing is, they're all gonna get to it.
They always get to it. So I don't think parents, sometimes it's like they're in a race trying to, because everybody's talking to each other and their kids are going to school at the same time, and sometimes everybody's just got to relax.
But did you guys do like an intense, like we're gonna do it this weekend thing, or just kind of let it?
No, because like I think the more pressure you put on it, sometimes it's worse. So we just tried to like be cool about it, and then sooner or later she just was like, "Oh, I'm going to potty," and
there you go.
There you go.
That's awesome. Where you go?
And then once she started doing it, it was like she never turned back.
It's funny. I look back, you know, when Colin was younger, we're talking about kids here, John Legend in the studio. When Luna was like learning how to crawl and how to walk and stuff, do you remember as a first-time parent where you're like, oh my God, they've got to crawl, they've got to walk, they've got to do this. Yeah. Then they start getting mobile. Like, it's a nightmare then.
Yeah, them getting too mobile is scary. But then once they get past a certain point where you're afraid they're going to destroy themselves. Yeah. Like Luna's, I feel like at an age now where I think she understands what danger is, and like
you can actually take your eye off her. For
you can like not stare at her every second. So that's a nice stage, but this phase when they can move around and they don't know danger very well is the scariest.
Exactly. Yeah. Jill reminded me of something. I had never seen this video from Chrissy before.
Oh, yes.
Which one?
Well, every time I go to put a headband on at night to wash my face, I think of you, and that song pops into my head.
We did it when we were on vacation in Bali. Yeah. And she started wearing a headband different days, and then by like the second or third time she wore one, she was like, we should do like a headband of the day series. And then we started singing the jingle. She really came up with most of the jingle. Headband of the day.
Ooh, I like
it's the headband of the day. Push your locks away with the headband of the day. We would sing it every time. And it became a hit.
Really?
You know what's
Everybody
funny?
was obsessed.
We actually practiced that before you walked in the studio. We were singing it as a crew
all day.
You walked in.
Be careful, it'll be stuck in your head all day.
Yep.
Oh, it's already stuck in my head. So I did want to ask you, this is kind of an interesting question. Your mother-in-law lives with you guys, right?
Yes, Pepper.
Okay. So we've talked about having my mom-in-law move. And she's older, sweetest lady. She's from Texas, very nice. I'm worried there'll be problems with the mother-in-law that moves in. I love her. I want her. Do you like hide your chips? Do you do anything, your treats, things that you like?
No, I don't hide anything. She's super easy to be around, and she's so good with the kids. And once you have kids, you really appreciate mother-in-laws a lot.
Yeah, they help
out. Because they really help out so much.
Well, my kid's 10, so it's not like she's going to be out that much to spend time with them, obviously, or anything.
Kids love their grandparents too. It's like
don't they?
They just eat it up.
They do.
Yeah.
There's no accounting for taste sometimes. I'm looking at your dad. I love it.
Who started this whole John Legend for Sexiest Man Alive campaign?
It was just a joke. I was on set with Blake and Adam, and it occurred to me that they had both won Sexiest Men Alive because we were like joking about the awards I've won and the EGOT and all that stuff. Yeah. And I was like, well, listen, I'm the only guy on this stage that hasn't won Sexiest Man Alive.
And you're due.
Listen, people. I don't want to ask for it because once you're like campaigning for it, it feels a little too contrived.
Right.
So I'm just going to let it be, and we'll see what happens. People,
didn't we complain about Blake getting
the balls in your...
When that was announced that Jill happened to be out this day, so it's just Val and I here. They announced that it was Blake Shelton that year. Right. And Valentine and I were making jokes on the air like, Blake Shelton, sexy. Turned out that day, he and Gwen were at some sort of photo shoot, and they had Myfm on, and they heard us.
So they heard you making fun of Blake.
Yeah, he felt horrible. So then somebody called up from the photo shoot and goes, hey, guys, I'm here at this photo shoot. They were listening to Myfm, and Gwen's been in here many times, and Blake, I think, is once or twice, but Gwen's been here a ton.
Yes.
And they go, they listen to Myfm. So then Kevin and I flipped the script. We come back on like idiots, so... Blake's really a good one for Sexiest Man. He's the best.
I was just saying, isn't Blake so handsome?
Yeah.
I thought it was a different Blake Shelton. This one's hot.
You guys should have stuck with your guns and commit to your bit and go with it.
Hey, I heard there's some talks about you doing some Broadway stuff. Is that true?
Well, I've been talking about writing some music for Broadway. I haven't talked to anyone about starring in anything. But definitely I've already been involved as a producer on Broadway. We won a Tony for Jitney, which was a play by August Wilson. And so, I'm open to doing more.
Do you know all the awards you won if we went down the EGOT list? Because you got Tony right there.
Well, I know the E, the O, and the T, but the G is hard because I have 10 Grammys, so I wouldn't remember.
What was the first one?
I wouldn't remember.
Mic drop.
The first 3 I won will always be in my memory because that was all on the first time I was nominated. I was nominated for Best New Artist, and I won that. Wow. I won for Best R&B Album for Get Lifted, and I won for Best R&B male vocal performance for Ordinary People.
So do they stand out? Is that the one that means the most to you? I hate to make you...
Well, I think for the Grammys, that means the most because it was my first time, and Best New Artist, you can only win once, and it's against people from all genres. Yeah. So that's a big deal. And then the other awards, I think the Oscar for Glory was monumental. It was a really special moment in my career.
Yeah.
And the Emmy was great because that made me an EGOT.
Yeah. You could be the first VGOT, though, with the voice.
Yeah, we've been talking about that, and who knows what'll happen. I feel like I have a couple singers that could win it, but we'll see. We'll see what America thinks.
Do you like doing that show?
I love it. I actually have a great time.
Did you know Kelly and Blake before?
I knew Kelly and Adam pretty well, and Adam and I had known each other since before I even put out my first album. Kanye and I were working on a remix for This Love way back, like early Maroon 5 days. Right. And so we met back then, and then I like to joke that we were both bachelors in similar circles, dating. I was dating Chrissy. He was dating another girl in the swimsuit issue, and we would be at all these Sports Illustrated parties and hang out a bit there. And so we've been friends and known each other for years. And then Kelly and I were on duets together on ABC, which was a one-season entry into the vocal competition show that didn't work out. But we became friends. We've done songs together. We performed together. And we are big fans of each other. Yeah. And so we had known each other for a while. And then Blake I barely knew, but I, obviously seen him on television. Right. But he's great. He's funny. He's charming. He's a great guy.
Breaking news while you're sitting here. They just announced the People's Sexiest Man Alive. Carson Daly.
Oh, Carson Daly.
That's Highway Road.
So it's like one more guy left on The Voice. One more guy.
That is absolutely brutal. We were joking around off the air about Chrissy and all the cooking and everything like that.
Yes.
How do you stay fit when she's cooking so much?
We don't overeat. We do it in moderation, but she definitely makes some great meals. Yeah. I like to cook too.
Do you like to cook?
Yeah.
Do you have a signature dish?
My fried chicken is great. It's really good. And then my mac and cheese is Legendary, as they say.
In the world of fried chicken, have you ever tried? I call this Amazon fried chicken. I love potato chips, and so you take you open a bag of chips and you crinkle them all up and stuff. You use that
as the breading,
as cover. Yes, the breading.
I've never tried that, but it sounds like it could work. Yeah.
Yeah. If you do it, call it like Valentine's fried chicken.
Valentine's fried chicken. We'll put it in the next book.
Valentine's legendary fried chicken.
Thank you very much. Thank you, John. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure, John Legend.